They all gasped when the number appeared on the wall. $12.6 million. Projected from a laptop onto Grandma Edna's faded wallpaper, right beside the dusty family portrait and the ceramic turkey that came out every November like clockwork. The silence that followed wasn't polite. It was sharp. Like someone had drawn a knife across the room and dared anyone to breathe. "That's your net worth, right?" Camille said, her voice honeyed but cutting. "Just thought the family should know." I didn't speak. Just sat there, tracing my thumb over the pocket watch hidden in my blazer, the one Granddad Sam gave me when I turned 15. The one that ticked soft and steady even when everything else got loud. I'm Marcus Ellison, 43. Founder of Ellison Equity. Financial strategist. Climber of ladders no one gave me. First generation to go from public housing to penthouse views. And until this moment, I was just the quiet one in the family, the brother who made it but didn't brag. Thanksgiving was supposed to be about turkey, memories, and stories from Uncle Ray that were only funny after wine. Instead, it turned into a courtroom. Camille, my younger sister and self-declared family PR queen, stood in front of the flat-screen TV, her laptop mirrored to it. She wore designer boots I knew she put on layaway and a confidence she borrowed from social media influencers. The screen showed headlines, articles, screenshots of a financial database. Marcus Ellison. Net worth, $12.6 million, she read aloud. And yet, Nana Edna still lives in a 2-bedroom house with a leaking roof. Chairs shifted. My mother sighed. Dad looked at me not with anger, worse, with expectation. "You could help all of us," Camille added. "It wouldn't even dent your account. My app needs funding. Dad could use a new car. Kyle still has law school loans. You could change everything." And just like that, my life became a pie chart. They didn't ask if it was true. They assumed it was. And they were right. I looked around the table. Not one person, not even my mother, spoke up for me. Except Ava. She sat near the end of the table, fingers curled around her wine glass, watching Camille like a chess player sizing up a bluff. Ava had been with me through the lean years. She knew what it cost. She knew the nights I slept in the office. She was the only one who did. I reached into my coat, pulled out the pocket watch and set it on the table. Let the sound of its ticking fill the awkward air. Then I stood. "You want a speech, Camille? Fine. I'll give you one." I stepped around the table slowly, letting the watch tick behind me like a metronome for the truth. Everyone stared as if I had just changed shape. 12.6 million. That number didn't fall from the sky. It wasn't a lottery. It was built. I let my voice fill the dining room, calm and deliberate. Every dollar, every contract, every sleepless night in a freezing apartment with no heat while the rest of you were texting me memes or asking for favors. Camille opened her mouth, but I kept going. "You talk about lifting the family up, like I haven't done that already. Who paid off Kyle's second DUI? Who covered Dad's medical bills when insurance played games? Who gave you your first $5,000 for that makeup blog that became a Facebook status update?" The room was still. "This isn't about generosity," I said, locking eyes with her. "It's about guilt. You want me to carry everyone because you're too tired, or too proud, to carry yourselves." Uncle Ray put down his fork. Aunt Lydia looked away. Nana Edna clutched her napkin, silent. "You want me to fund your whole life?" I asked. "Then tell me which part of mine you lived through to earn it." No one answered. I turned to Camille. "What you did tonight wasn't just petty. It was dangerous. You exposed private information in front of strangers, without my consent, at a family table. You turned a holiday into a performance." I picked up the pocket watch, slid it back into my coat. "This watch has ticked through generations. Through real sacrifice. And it will keep ticking long after this drama fades." Ava stood with me. "We're heading out," I said. "Enjoy dessert." I walked toward the door, not rushing. Ava beside me. When I reached it, I paused. "And Camille? One last thing. Net worth might measure money. But legacy? That's measured by silence. And tonight, yours was deafening." The door clicked shut behind us. Outside, the air was crisp. Stars above. Leaves underfoot. Ava squeezed my hand. "You okay?" I nodded. "I think I finally am." We drove off, leaving the house behind like a chapter one had finally finished reading. But stories don't end just because you close the book. By the next morning, the fallout had already begun. Camille, unable to let go of her humiliation, posted a passive-aggressive thread online. "Imagine having $12 million and letting your own family suffer. Image. Built from struggle but forgot where he came from. It wasn't subtle. And it didn't need to be." Friends tagged me. Co-workers sent screenshots. Even a journalist I'd done a fintech feature with reached out asking if I'd like to respond to your sister's viral Thanksgiving confession. I said nothing. For 3 days I said nothing. Not out of shame, but out of strategy. Because people who scream in public often expose more than they mean to. And Camille was unraveling. On day 4, an anonymous blog surfaced with old screenshots, texts from her begging me for money, one even stating, "You're my golden goose, Marcus. Don't forget that." The internet flipped. Her own followers turned. Comments flooded her feed. "This ain't it, sis. If my brother had 12M, I'd protect him like my life depended on it. You exposed yourself more than him." Camille disabled her account. Meanwhile, my firm was booming. A podcast interview I'd done weeks earlier aired the same week, where I spoke about family dynamics and financial boundaries. It went viral. Clients doubled. One investor sent me a message, "Your silence was the loudest PR move I've seen this year." Ava and I sat on our balcony that Sunday evening, wine in hand. "So," she said, "what now?" I pulled the pocket watch from my jacket, setting it gently on the table between us. "Now," I said, "I choose legacy. On my terms." The next morning I made 3 calls. 1. I created a scholarship under Grandma Edna's name, for first-gen college students in our old zip code. 2. I paid off her house quietly through a blind trust. 3. I wrote Camille out of every future investment document I had previously considered her for. The last message I ever sent her was short. Love is not a transaction. And trust is not credit. It doesn't rebuild overnight. No reply. Just silence. A few weeks later I got a package. No return address. Inside a frame. It was a photo of Granddad Sam holding me as a kid, his hand wrapped around the very pocket watch that now sat on my desk. In the corner in tiny lettering it read, "Tick forward, not backward." I don't know who sent it. Maybe Camille. Maybe Ava. Maybe someone who understood that some family is chosen and some is shed. All I know is I still hear the ticking. And that's all I need. If you've ever had to choose peace over pressure or legacy over loud expectations, share your story in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more true tales of truth, power, and poetic revenge.